All right, let's talk about credit card payments. Unfortunately, when you get a credit card, you have to pay it off. And if you don't pay it off in time, then you are charged an interest rate. And that interest rate can be really quite high. In fact, as high as like 25 to 30%. So let's go ahead and let's see how credit card debt accumulates, even if you're paying it off. The following table shows the expenses and payments on a credit card for 4 months, starting with an initial balance of $7,000. So I'm going to put that $7,000 right here. Assume that the APR, the annual percentage rate, for the credit card is 20% and that the interest for a given month is based on the balance from the previous month. Payments on the account were as follows. So month 1, 400. Month 2, 400. Month 3, 500. And month 4, 300. So this is your attempt to pay off your debt at $7,000. You know, life is life, and sometimes you can't just pay off your full $7,000 of debt on your credit card, and you have to make small payments each month. It's not ideal, but it is life. All right, so what is the interest going to be for the first month? Well, you might want to take 20% of $7,000, but that is not how it works. It is the annual percentage rate, and this is just a month jump. So what we want to do is we want to take our 0.20%, we want to divide that by 12, because we're not going to be charged 20% each month, we're going to be charged a 1/12 of that. So that amounts to 0.016666666666. I'll just give it 2 6s like that. So what I'm going to do to get from the balance to the interest is I am going to multiply 7,000 times this 0.0166. Let me do that now. And I get $116.20. Again, what did I do there? I multiplied this 7,000 times this value right here. All right, so how do we figure out what our balance is going to be for the first month? Well, we take our 7,000 and we subtract 400 because we paid that off. We're paying it off. We're giving the bank $400. But unfortunately, we have to pay interest, so we're going to add 116.20. So let me do that. That's 7,000 minus 400 plus 116.2. And so now my balance is $6,716.20. It did say 0.2 in my calculator, but that is the same thing as 20 cents. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and calculate my interest. And this time I'm going to take my new value, which is 6716.20, and I'm going to multiply that by my 0.0166. And where did that come from again? That was 20% divided by 12, or 0.2 divided by 12. So let me do that. Okay, that's going to give me for month 2, I'm going to have an interest payment of $111.49. And so how am I going to get my balance for month 2? Well, I'm going to have my balance remaining, which is 6716.20. I'm going to subtract my $400 payment, and I'm going to add the 111.49. So let's get that. So that's going to be 6716.2, subtracting your 400, and then adding your 111.49. So here you're left with 6,427.69. All right, now how do I get my interest for the next month? Well, I'm going to take this value right here, and I'm going to multiply it by that 0.0166. So that's going to be 6427.69 multiplied by 0.0166. And so my interest for the month of the third month is going to be $106.70. Okay, how do I get this value? Well, I take my previous amount that I owe, so that's going to be $6,427.69. I'm going to subtract my $500 payment, and then I'm going to add 106.7. All right, when I do this in my calculator right here, I get $6,034.39. All right, last one here. So let's say that we are going to, so I'm not sure why I erased that. We are going to take this amount right here, 6034.39, and then I'm going to multiply it by that value I've been using, that 0.0166. So that's going to be times 0.0166. So this last month I have an interest of $100.17. All right, so our total balance is going to be our previous, which is $6,034.39, and then I'm going to subtract my $300 payment, and then I'm going to add back my $100.17 of interest. All right, and that answer is $5,834.56. So let's think about this for a second, folks. How much money have you paid off your credit card debt? Well, that's going to be 400 plus 400 is 800, plus 500 is 1300, plus 1600. So you've paid 1600 off. So you would assume 7,000 minus 1600, you'd assume that you'd be at around $5,400. But how come you're at $5,834? Where does that extra 400 some odd dollars go? Well, it's because you're paying interest. So because you're not able to pay your credit card off on time, you are receiving over $400 in interest, even though you're making pretty good payments each month. All right, let's do one more. And this one is going to have to do with including expenses. So when you own a credit card, you sometimes have to pay for things like baby formula, diapers, food, utility bills, things that you absolutely need in life, but maybe you can't afford at the time. And so you have to put those sometimes on your credit card. Hopefully you can pay that off, but life gets in the way sometimes and sometimes you can't. So an expense is when you are swiping your credit card and you're using it to pay for something. All right, so what's our initial balance here? It's $6,000. All right, we're talking about an APR of 24%, so that's 0.24 divided by 12. Well, 24% divided by 12 is 2%, so of course this is 0.02. So you're getting charged 2% interest every month, which makes sense if your APR, your annual percentage rate, is 24%. All right, so let's go ahead and write this down. What are my payments? 300, 400, 400, 300. So that's 300, 400, 400. Oops, I didn't need to do that in the first thing there. 300, 400, 400, and then 300. Okay, what are my expenses? That's like what I'm swiping on my credit card bill and adding to my debt. So this would be 500, 200, 300, and 400. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and find our interest. So we're going to take 6,000 and multiply it by 0.02. And our first month, we're paying $120 in interest. Bummerino. Okay, so how are we going to get this balance? Well, first of all, we owe $6,000, but we paid off $300, so that's a payment, so we're subtracting it from how much we owe. But unfortunately, we're adding $500 to our debt because we're buying something with our credit card. And we're also adding $120 to our debt. So the only thing you can subtract is what you're paying off. Everything else you're adding. So what do we get here? Oops, I missed a zero here, didn't I? So 6,000, whoopsie, 6,000 minus your $300 because you're paying that off, but then you're adding 500 because you're buying something with your credit card, and then you're adding the 120 in interest. So that is $6,320. And honestly, that's kind of sad because you expected it to be at $5,700 because you paid off 300 of it, but unfortunately you've got expenses and you've got interest, so you didn't make any ground that month on paying off your credit card bill. All right, next time we're going to take 6,320, we're going to multiply that by 0.02. Okay, and that gives me for my interest for the next month is $126.40. So now I'm going to take that 6,320, I'm going to subtract my 400, and I'm going to add a 200, and I'm going to add a 126.4. That gives me $6,246.40. All right, so we're going to find now our interest for the next month. So I take my previous balance of $6,246.40. I multiply that by 0.02, and I get $124 in interest and 93 cents. All right, so now I'm going to take my previous balance, 624,640, and I'm going to subtract the $400 payment right here, and then I'm going to add this $300 expense, and then I'm going to add that interest that I'm getting for that month. So that's going to be $124.93. Let's see what I get. I get $6,271.33. So I'm really not making any progress at all. All right, so now I'm going to take that new amount. I'm going to take that $6,271.33, and I'm going to multiply that by 0.02, and I get an interest of $125.43. All right, to get this final amount, I take this $6,271.33. I'm going to subtract my $300 payment right here. I'm going to add my $400 expense that I'm using my credit card to buy something with. And then I have to add my $125.43 that I'm paying in interest. And I get $6,496. So even though I've actually paid off $1,400 of my credit card bill, I've actually ended up with about $500 more, and that's because I'm buying things and because of interest. So it is the sad reality of credit cards. Thanks for watching, everyone.